Britney Spears causing concern, the singer looking distressed, draped in a blanket as she appeared topless. Ambulance was called to the high-end LA hotel.
Paramedics came to my door illegally, of course, caused this huge scene, which was so unnecessary, and all I needed was ice.
Now, I always want to take Britney's side as much as I can, but I feel like there's a lot of gaps in the story.
Britney Spears conveniently settled with her father and her ex-husband in court, and now she's running around town and finding herself in big trouble. She allegedly got into a physical altercation with her boyfriend. Britney hurt her ankle and was escorted out of the hotel barely clothed. Now, sources close to the star are running to the outlets to share their thoughts on Britney's drinking and drug use, which has gotten all really messy. So let's get into it. If you aren't subscribed to the Let's Get Into It podcast, then you're only getting half the tea. For longer videos, deep dives, and of course, more of me, subscribe to the Let's Get Into It podcast listed in the description below. Now, there is a lot going on with Britney Spears, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Take a look at this headline: Britney Spears home and safe after paramedics responded to an incident at the Chateau Marmont. Now, I want to give you guys a heads up that Britney has posted on her social media saying that this story is fabricated and it's full of lies. But let's go ahead and break it down, because Britney was supposedly at this hotel with her boyfriend when they got into a major fight. TMZ reported that Britney was out of control, crying, possibly cut, and almost driven away in an ambulance. Reports write that Britney created a disturbance that resulted in the authorities being called to the hotel. Guests claimed that a woman matching Britney's description was harassing and threatening hotel employees and guests. I do think it's interesting that we have guests reporting on this person, I guess, being hysterical at this hotel, but we don't have any footage of it. I mean, I feel like any normal person, when they see behavior like this, going on, they nowadays typically pull their phone out and start recording. Officers who arrived on the property at around 10:30 p.m. reportedly found no cause for concern and left, which is exactly what Britney had said on her Instagram. However, TMZ reported that after Britney and Paul returned to their room, they allegedly got into a physical altercation. The songstress was reportedly screaming in the hallway, and guests called the paramedics after they feared there was a possible injured person. That's when the EMT came at around 12:42 a.m. past midnight, which nothing good goes on past midnight now.
Britney Spears causing concern after a late night out Wednesday. A new photo showing the singer looking distressed, draped in a blanket as she appeared topless outside the Chateau Marmont, where earlier an ambulance was called to the high-end LA hotel. Now, a source tells ET Britney is fine and she's home safe. It's unclear if she caused the emergency response, but an eyewitness says a paramedic with a gurney was on standby, and someone in the singer's entourage talked with EMTs as hotel workers tried to cover up the nearly naked pop star. We also know Brit was with her companion and former housekeeper, convicted felon Paul Richard Solis.
Now, this isn't good news for Britney, because she just settled her conservatorship abuse case with her father this past week, and she settled her divorce agreement with her ex Sam Asghari. So, I mean, everything in court is playing out. She should be in a good place, but she's clearly not. Britney decided to take to Instagram to post about what had happened at Chateau Marmont. She wrote, "Just to let people know, the news is fake. I would like respect at this time for people to understand that I am getting stronger every day. Truth sucks, so can someone teach me how to lie?" She continued, "God is out there. I'm reaching my higher power, and furthermore, I hope you guys are too. I need a new toothbrush right now." Now, we are used to Britney giving us some random tidbits in her Instagram captions, but this is a lot. She writes, "P.S. I need an espresso," which I feel like we all love that song right now about Me Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. "P.S. Not sure why I need to share this. I guess I'm just a girl and I'm on my period, so I'm B-word." Shit. Gosh. "I also twisted my ankle last night and paramedics showed up at my door illegally. They never came into my room, but I felt completely harassed. I'm moving to Boston." Ooh, interesting choice. I do want to note one part from her caption, which I find very interesting. She writes, "Most pics are body doubles, and I think most know that." We speculated about Britney being cloned, about, possibly another body double. And it looks like Britney here is confirming that, like, whoever they're seeing in these photos, it's not even her. It's a body double, which I think is a little bit out there.
At around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 10 a.m. in California, Britney Spears' Instagram posted this. I didn't know what the she was talking about, and it was deleted within minutes. The story that was breaking news today wasn't even out when this was posted. Just so you know, people, the news is fake, etc., etc., etc. Then this story breaks at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time and around 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we get an updated post of the same caption, and at the end on Britney Spears' Instagram, she said, "I also twisted my ankle last night and paramedics showed up at my door illegally. They never came in my room, but I felt completely harassed. I'm moving to Boston. Peace."
Now, Britney did in fact hurt her ankle. We don't know exactly how she did this, but she shared a video of her ankle on Instagram, and I must admit, it looks pretty painful. Britney writes on her Instagram, "I know my mom was involved," which is interesting. She's bringing up her mother, Lynn Spears. "I haven't talked to her in 6 months, and she called right after it happened before the news being out. I was just set up like she did way back when. I wish I had my grandparents. I can't stand her. I honestly don't care. I will say it. P.S. This man is wonderful. He's like a father to me and got me through the last night. I adore you and admire you, Mr. Matthew," speaking about her lawyer, Matthew Rosengart. Here's that clip Britney shared of her ankle on Instagram.
My little foot, you know, and then this is
Here's more of Britney's post. She writes, "As Pink says, embracing the fall, fallen angel, that's so funny, right? Well, I've been reading a lot of spiritual books lately, and one was talking about how you can go back in time and also 2 parallel universes and a paradox where you can cross over and meet another person on a different dimension." That's different. I never heard of that ride. Britney shared several videos of her ankle situation on Instagram, so let's go ahead and react to one of those.
okay, guys. So you know, I really twisted my ankle last night like an idiot, just to show proof. Don't look at my feet. I need a manicure. It's so bad. An idiot here tries to do a leap in the living room at the chateau, and I fell. Embarrassed myself.
I wonder, so when I first heard she said that she did a leap in the hotel room, I was kind of like, oh, why are you jumping around a hotel room? But now that I hear it again, maybe she was dancing, like she meant like a dancing leap, which we all know she's constantly spinning.
And that's it. Paramedics came to my door illegally, of course, caused this huge scene, which was so unnecessary, and all I needed was ice. But yeah, it is actually pretty bad, but it happens.
Now, Britney does sound pretty coherent in these clips. I mean, she's speaking about what happened. It sounds like she's talking about it very clearly and confidently. But either way, it's a bizarre injury to see, especially with all of the accompanying stories.
I guess it's a little bit bigger today. It's really swollen. My foot is so big right now. And then just in comparison, you can see like my foot's like over 6.5. My feet are so ugly. That's my foot right here. My real foot. And this is that one.
I like how she said my real foot. Like, would it be anything other?
Oh my God.
Now, Britney clearly shared that she did a leap in the living room and that's how she had hurt herself. Well, a spokesperson went to Us Weekly and said she rolled her ankle walking down the stairs, so they treated the ankle. She's fine. And while that may be a little detail, I think it's interesting when we've got a spokesperson talking about some stairs, and at the same time we've got Britney Spears herself talking about this leap that she did in the living room. The second source noted that Britney's on and off again boyfriend, Paul, was also at the hotel having dinner with his son and visited the singer in her room. Britney was upset when Paul was trying to leave the hotel after visiting her room. They did not have an argument, but Britney was upset. There were no cuts and no scratches from her fall. Which, hearing this second source talk about what had happened, it makes me kind of feel that maybe there was a fight, because there's enough setting it up. I mean, I could totally imagine Britney having Paul come up to her room and then getting upset when he leaves because she's got major abandonment issues. Now, of course, fans are concerned after seeing photos of Britney being escorted out of the hotel. She was wrapped in a blanket while wearing pajama shorts and holding a pillow over her chest. I must acknowledge that the investigative journalist within me is super interested in what really happened in this hotel room, because it also doesn't make sense that Britney is walking out in these pajama shorts. Like, does she even have a shirt on? She's holding a pillow. Like, is there no one there to get her properly ready? Looking at the 911 call, I mean, you'll even see that there is some, I don't know if it's misreporting or if it's accurate, but there was supposedly an assault that had taken place with a deadly weapon. It makes me really wonder what happened at the Chateau Marmont, because this is a big celebrity hotspot with a lot of dark stories associated with it.
Now, I always want to take Britney's side as much as I can, but I feel like there's a lot of gaps in the story, including part of the articles where they say that Britney was outside her suite screaming and disturbing other guests and harassing them. We have a very quick police communication call where they talk about the description of Britney Spears. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you now. I want you to pay close attention because they do say ADW, assault with a deadly weapon. I don't know who had a deadly weapon. I don't know what exactly happened, but that's just what was initially here. Just listen.
Possible ADW, suspect 8221 West Sunset Boulevard. Suspect is a female, white, 5'2", blonde hair, code 2 incident 4709 3632.
I'm going to slow that down so you can hear that better.
Possible ADW, suspect 8221 West Sunset Boulevard. Suspect is a female, white, 5'2", blonde hair, code 2 incident 4709 3632.
Now the police call Britney Spears a suspect in a possible ADW. What the fuck?
I'm telling you guys, there's so much more to this story, and I wonder if Britney's shout out to Matthew Rosengart was kind of like a thank you for maybe getting her out of whatever mess that was at that hotel room. Well, Britney's inner circle have some feelings about her boyfriend, Paul, and they're saying he's not a good fit for her. Keep in mind that Britney had employed this man at one point. Britney is rumored to be back with her former boyfriend, Paul, and members of her inner circle are worried about the pop star. Quote, those around Britney are wary of Paul's intentions. They don't think he's a good fit for her. Quote, they have tried for months to try to tell her to stop associating with him, but the more they tell her to stay away, it has a reverse effect, so she isn't listening to them. Another source said that there have been a noticeable change in Britney's behavior since her split from Sam Asghari. Quote, Sam is a very structured person and would work out and eat well, and it was hard for her to adapt to all of it, but she needed someone like him. He provided good structure. However, her team is reportedly concerned that Paul is more of a yes man. They added that Paul is 37 and he doesn't provide that structure, and people around her have noticed that he's bringing her down. And if this incident at the Chateau Marmont does involve Paul, and Matthew Rosengart worked his magic to try to protect both of them, then we need to keep an eye on him. I really don't want to watch Britney go down the wrong path and then end up in another conservatorship, or even worse, possibly dead.
Britney Spears and her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Paul Solis, were involved in something this morning. He has a bit of a checkered past. There is some former charges of child endangerment, which I'm looking into, disturbing the peace, illegally possessing a firearm. But the way he talks about his marital status is really strange. He talked about how he doesn't have a wife because the mother of his children, quote, passed away, but didn't give any more details. He also said that he has a, quote, handful of kids, whatever that means. And 2 of those kids are staying with their maternal grandmother, so it doesn't appear upon first glance that he has custody of any of his kids.
So there's definitely some red flags when it comes to Paul. But I want to talk a little bit more about Sam Asghari, because he, of course, has put out a statement about this incident at the Chateau Marmont. Reports read that Sam feels terrible after ex-Britney Spears' incident at the Chateau. Quote, Sam will always have a soft spot for Britney and will be protective over her. Adding, the situation is heartbreaking to Sam. Sam is a helper and was there for her in the hardest times. He hopes that she's okay. Which, interesting that they wrote Sam Sam as a helper. I mean, I feel like you could replace that and put Sam as a handler because he very much gave that energy. Although the exes, quote, don't communicate anymore, end quote, Sam found the situation at Chateau Marmont definitely worrisome after officers were called to the scene. Sam has been down this road with Britney before and knows how she is, the source continues. He feels terrible that she's not surrounded by positive people in her life. The source claims that despite their breakup, Sam will always wish Britney the best and would be there for her if she needed him. Maybe Britney will give Sam a call, but I feel like she's kind of paranoid and, who to really trust. Britney Spears needed conservatorship for her own safety, sources say, which this is something I find very frustrating because I don't think she needs a conservatorship. Reports write that Britney Spears should have kept in a conservatorship amid fears for her mental health, according to multiple sources. Those who have known her tell Page Six they fear that she has turned to drinking and drugs. Now, an insider highly familiar with the court case and the Free Britney campaign tell Page Six the narrative of Britney having been locked away for no good reason other than her dad being evil and wanting to work her for every last penny has always been wrong. They continue, however, there's no question that the conservatorship and the interventions prior to it happened for a reason, and it wasn't because her dad wanted to make some money. It was initially put in place because Britney had serious mental health issues and was completely off the rails. I would love to point out that they named this source as a Free Britney person. I am very heavily involved in the Free Britney movement, so I don't know who they're talking about. I don't know who's speaking to Page Six and who's doing it anonymously, but show yourself.
I don't know, guys. I mean, she did just finalize her divorce, and even though they were only married for 14 months, they were together for like 8 years. Divorce is easily one of the most painful things someone can go through. And it can, even if you're the most mentally sound person, a divorce will you up. So if you already have underlying medical issues, then that's going to make it 10 times worse. And I feel like the discourse that's surrounding Britney right now is, did we make a mistake? Should we have let her out of her conservatorship or whatever? And I'm not denying she isn't mentally ill. The conservatorship was abusive. I wish there was something in between where she's at now in the conservatorship, but also she's going through a fucking divorce.
I do wonder if this Chateau Marmont situation is part of a bigger scheme because they're really trying to paint the conservatorship in a good light. They just had settled in court. Sam Asghari is giving his stance, saying that he'll always be there for her. Why does this feel like a setup? I mean, this person said, I think that Jamie Spears has been unfairly vilified by people who know nothing about the situation and nothing to do with it. I hate to say it, but he could be vindicated, which I would say, hell no, he can't be vindicated after what Britney told the court about what he had put her through. Really convenient that the first time that Britney slips up, we see Jamie Spears, talking about possibly being vindicated, being on the right side of everything. Now that it seems like Britney's not doing okay, people are looking back at the judge and questioning whether she did the right thing, because Britney specifically asked to not be evaluated when ending the conservatorship. She just wanted to be free from it. Judge Brenda Penny, she ultimately agreed. She said, yeah, you know what? We could do that. We'll just end it. You don't need to be evaluated. So now people are questioning whether Judge Brenda Penny misstepped by not evaluating Britney, because maybe if she was evaluated, they would have determined that she could not have been out of the conservatorship. Granted, I don't think that's the case, but that's a valid point. I mean, maybe she should have been evaluated just for sake, just so that we could see that she was 100% great, so that we know for sure the conservatorship wasn't necessary. A former boyfriend of Britney Spears, who dated her for several years while she was under the conservatorship, told Page Six, I think she needs to get off all the meds, avoid drugs and alcohol, and pick up the Bible. Okay, I'm like, who's this former boyfriend? I hate when these people go on the record, they talk crap, but you don't list your name. You're saying that she needs to put down the drugs and pick up a Bible? Who are you to say that? This ex continued, she always said too that she wanted to go home to Louisiana. I hope she does. I'm not sure why she's still in LA. It's a cesspool there. He also dubbed that Britney's manager and BFF Kate Hudson is an opportunist and said that Britney needs more real people around her. And honestly, this guy is kind of speaking facts. I mean, I don't think Kate is great for her. I don't think LA is great for Britney. And it makes me wonder where this guy's at, because he talks about LA being a cesspool, kind of like he's not, like he says, it's a cesspool there. So that must mean that he's not here, or he would have said, like, it's a cesspool here. So who is this ex? An insider familiar with the conservatorship tells Page Six it will be even harder to get Britney under any kind of control. Her family can't go near her, and I worry that everyone else who comes into her orbit only wants her money. It's an absolute tragedy, and there's absolutely no way for it to end well. Now remember, Britney settled her long-running legal battle with her father, Jamie Spears, last week, which she was placed under this conservatorship and coined him as a Britney's lawyer was quoted saying, "It's been an honor and a privilege to represent, protect, and defend Britney Spears. Britney is and always will be an icon and a brilliant and brave artist of historic and epic proportion. Although the conservatorship was terminated in November 2021, her wish for freedom is now truly complete. As she's desired, her freedom now includes that she will no longer need to attend or be involved with court in this matter." And we all know Britney did not like being in this court battle, did not like going to the doctors, did not want to go and see the judge, and she spoke for the first time in court and publicly and shared how she just did not want to be part of this mess anymore. So even though she kind of gave up and we did not charge Jamie Spears with conservatorship, she feels like she's ultimately won because she's finally able to get out and do what she wants.
I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me. By making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you, to the judge, to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me. And by not saying anything is saying it's okay.
Now, of course, Jamie Spears' lawyer is super happy about this situation, saying that, Jamie is thrilled that all this is behind him. He loves his daughter very much, and everything he has ever done has been to protect and to support her, which I kind of call BS. And honestly, while Jamie is thrilled, and I'm sure he is, Britney is not. And I feel like Britney has this sense that she never really got the justice she deserves.
Britney Spears just put out a statement today on Instagram, just a couple days after there's supposed to be a big trial, okay? A big trial about Jamie Spears, her dad, and the advantage he used with Britney's conservatorship and the money and the legal fees and everything like that. He was wanting Britney to pay the legal fees and all this other somebody directly involved with it that had a hand in it. None of them have gotten reprimanded, okay? Lou Taylor, the alleged mastermind of the conservatorship, her right-hand woman in crime, Robin Greenhill, the one who was Britney Spears' assistant for a very long time. Britney Spears and Jamie Spears have settled in mediation, and now there is not going to be any trial in May, okay? So Britney had to fork up the fees for Jamie.
In my last Britney update, we talked about the fact that Britney had called her sister, Jamie Lynn, a B-word and was kind of mocking her experience on that reality show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which is kind of like a Survivor reality show, but with celebrities. Now, Jamie Lynn had a very cryptic response when it came to her sister, Britney. They write that Jamie Lynn Spears isn't sweating her sister's nasty comments about her, with people close to her revealing that she's developed a positive way to look at Britney's trash talk. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Jamie Lynn's only worried about Britney's well-being. So she's actually fine with all the smack Britney fires off on social media, because every comment is a sign that Britney's still alive, which I think this is so shady, so cryptic, especially with what's going on with Britney. Jamie Lynn's like, talk all the crap you want, at least you're still breathing, and at least you're still alive. I guess trying to mock Britney's like stability or her current status, like her well-being, her mental health state. The report writes that this revelation about Jamie Lynn's outlook comes on the heels of Britney repeatedly calling her a little B-word and a little S-word in a rambling, barely coherent video she posted then deleted from Instagram. In the clip, Britney takes shots at Jamie Lynn's appearance on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, making fun of her missing her children on the show and getting bathed in the jungle.
My sister did on a TV show, and they bathed her in the jungle, Lord. She said, bathe me, because I'm like stuck in the jungle and I miss my kids. Oh, cater to me, little.
So I'm not a big fan of Jamie Lynn's response, but it looks like the Spears family is a total mess. I mean, Lynn Spears is showing support for her daughter, Britney, after the pop star blamed her for the ankle injury she sustained at the Hotel Chateau Marmont. While walking through the LAX airport, Lynn was asked by the Daily Mail if she'll always be there no matter what for Britney. In her response, Lynn didn't say much. She nodded, but making it clear that despite the ups and downs of their relationship, that she is going to stay by Britney's side. Again, I don't know how much I believe of this, but it'd be nice to be true.
Everyone wants to know if you're worried about obviously you're worried about your daughter. Everyone's worried about Britney. Are you here to see her? Are you hoping to see her? Right? Listen, so she posted, Lynn, that she thinks maybe you called the paramedics. Is that?
I'm listening.
You didn't?
What do you want
Okay.
me to do?
Lynn, let me ask you a question. Are you always going to be there for your daughter? Just always, always, always. Always. Good for you, you know, no matter what, right? Are you here to see her? Are you hoping to see her? It's important.
There's no doubt in my mind that Lynn had called the paparazzis to go and meet her there and for them to create a story about her and, you know, her being in LA, I guess, to visit Britney. But I wonder, like, if she's going to call them, why give us nothing? Like, why don't you, like, speak to your daughter through them? But I don't think that's worked in the past, and clearly none of this is working now. Maybe she's just here for Jamie Lynn, but again, I don't know why the paparazzis would be there waiting to ask about Britney. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am sending so much love to Britney. You guys know mental health is a journey. We all go through it. I mean, even myself, I'm not perfect. I have my mental health struggles. Yesterday, I spent all day in bed, literally all day in bed. I was so depressed. And you know what? I woke up today and said, I'm going to be better today. And I am. And I hope Britney has that, you know, in her or some support around her to remind her that it is okay and that she will make it through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.